Since we're on the subject of men and their penises, their little boys, and their early childhood development, we might as well have the conversation about circumcising. Now, I know that the vast majority of you watching this video have either circumcised your son or are with a partner who is circumcised. I am as well. What I'm about to share with you is an opinion. Some of it is actually based in facts, and most of it is just my opinion. So take it or leave it. I mean no harm. And yet, I think the best gift I could give while I'm on this planet is to help open up new channels and new perspectives. So it's a fact that we have something called implicit and explicit memory. Explicit memory are memories, sequential memories that we have from our childhood. Implicit memories are body memories. These are the things that we don't necessarily have an explanation for, but we feel nonetheless. It's like the person who, let's say that your caregiver didn't want to breastfeed you. Right? A child may not actually have a cognitive thought about that, but they will have an angst and anxiety and attachment to wanting to feel worthy in adulthood, and they won't necessarily know like an exact memory on why that is there. And there's a million other examples of this. So when we cut God's creation, when we chop it up and a little boy comes out and we say, you know what, you're not right. Let's give you, not that the birth was already intense. You already were forced. You already had an evolutionary impulse to come forward and take a breath in this weird ass world. And that's not enough. Let's chop your dick up. Let's give you a major surgery. Let's take this to a whole nother level. I just wanted to ask you guys, what do you think the consequences of something like that would be? If you take a pure being and the moment they come out, you say, you know what, God made a mistake. It messed up. Let's change it. Like, what would that do to a being? What has that done? What has it done? Ask yourself, is the way that the masculine has been over the last, let's say, 100 years, 200, 300, 400 years, has that been effective to your liking? I was having a conversation in my men's group today about, what it must be like to be a woman. And somebody used the example of if you went to the ATM, took out all your money, and then taped it to your body and walked around all day. The level of vulnerability, the potential fear of somebody coming and taking your money would maybe be like what it would feel like to be a woman, where the object, right? We've objectified women in such a way that their bodies is the thing we want to get to. Everything is touching everything, guys. Everything is informing everything. And so I'm offering us an opportunity to look at how we instantly treat little boys. And if that is effective, I'm not saying I'm not talking about right or wrong. I'm talking about, does it work? Is it effective? Our children, our boys are not circumcised. And I had some conversations with family members who didn't think that was a good idea. And I reminded them that they did the best that they could with the tools and consciousness they had available. And our job is to take it to the next level and not to blame them for what they did to me or anybody else. And I'm not blaming any of you guys because you probably didn't know better. Just like the business of being born. Watch that on Netflix, by the way. But there's a whole world in that as well. Either way, leave a comment below if this resonates. I know that there's a whole conversation about like, oh, cleanliness and X, Y, and Z. I know that's what some of you guys will say to justify carving up a little boy's dick and putting him through a super traumatic experience the moment he's born. However, I don't find that that's justifiable, and that's just my truth. Our kids' dicks are fine because God didn't make a mistake. And so, we have a problem when people cut off little girls' genitalia, their clits. We say that's ridiculous, that's barbaric, and yet we have no issues just ripping up a little boy's dick. So, you can tell how I feel about it. Either way, much love, seriously. And for those of you who are going to come in here with a different opinion, do that if that's your truth, but just do it respectfully. That's all I ask. Blessings and blessings.